Welcome to Masters at Wagtail. Today I'm working with the S Arm. Alright, so now I'm going to elaborate a little bit on these stoppers, right? For those who don't know what this S Arm is all about, it eliminates you having to wipe the size, eliminating the detail process. Now, of course, every so often you'll have to wipe the frame because it'll just get dusty. You just can't just not, this is more or less for frequent work, but you could use this mop on every single job, but it depends on how you use the mop. You have to use it in a certain way that was going to allow you to do that. All right, so what happens here is when you're mopping, let me just show you something before I get too far. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's nastiness on the side of the frame from before when I used the traditional mop. Actually, no, I don't use a traditional mop. That's from my workers, and I haven't wiped the sides since. I probably should do that soon, and I will until they say something. But this is a frequent account. I'm here every 2 weeks. So when I use the high flyer, it doesn't get that whole side saturated because the high flyer is a thin pad, right? Only a traditional type mop would see with this mirror finish reflective framework. You really want to be mindful of slopping water all around, right? This eliminates that. All right, so let's wet this mop down, and I'm going to show you just how well it works without getting the sides wet. So you don't have to, see, that's an extra step. If you have to put a rag on a pole and detail the framework and the sides, you're wasting time. This is not. You're working smarter this way. But, all right. All right, now, this doesn't just work for the size, right? This is a swivel mop, so use it to your advantage. Swivel the mop on an angle. You see? See what I've done? Now, you could go and, oops. All right, now you can go and do the top part, and you won't have to worry about slopping the top of the reflective finish up either. Then when you get to the side, come on an angle like so, and then push it in the corner. You can straighten it up a bit, and then you can mop the center end. And then everyone wins. All right, so let me get back to work. Today I'm using the Black Mamba and the Quicksilver. And when I spoke to y'all about the 40-degree angles, the ends, I said it didn't look like it, and it doesn't. But if you look underneath, this is where the angle comes in. Hopefully y'all can see that. There we go. All right, so now you see the angle better. So I just wanted to point that out, that over the top, that's not what you need to be concerned about, because that part is not touching the glass. You're not squeegeeing the window on the opposite side, only underneath. So this is what matters. And as much as I like to analyze stuff and I'm, observant, I didn't observe this part of it, which is pretty unusual for me because I've never seen a channel like this. That's why. So it's kind of strange for me to see that. But if you see how it's made, that's pretty, you know what, that's pretty ingenious if you ask me. That was smart thinking by Sorbo to do that. I would like to pick his brain one day. Him and Willie are both masterminds. I gotta tell you, man. And as many inventions as Sorbo has, and Willie and a few other manufacturers, it amazes me where people's head be at sometimes. Sometimes you could say their head be in the clouds somewhere. But hey, man, sometimes it takes a person who's on cloud nine to get stuff done, you know, to think outside the box. I mean, all those guys, Einstein, Ben Franklin, all those guys were considered loony bins, you know, because it wasn't just normal. That's not normal. How you gonna talk to somebody that ain't even here? You had to be smoking something, and then bam, now the telephone's born. You feel me? I mean, who the heck thinks of these things? You know, that just goes to show you anything, the mind is powerful, but it starts with a thought. And if you can see it, you can make it reality. And that's guaranteed. Guaranteed. But you can't half step. Here's a little tip. If you get the Sorbo soap and the Sorbo Glide, I'm almost certain that it performs better than GG4, because when I noticed with GG4, it doesn't get fingerprints like how this does, unless it's the mop cover that really scrubs those fingerprints. For a clear solution, this does have good cleaning power. I am surprised about that. So I haven't done enough research with the soap to find out if the actual solution is what's giving that power behind cleaning this door that was saturated with fingerprints, or if it's the mop. Another thing is, as I stated before, when you get this up to the corner, it leaves about a half an inch or a quarter of an inch of the window dry. But the problem with that is when you're doing restaurants, there's fingerprints most of the time right where that crease is. So if the mop is not getting there, you're still going to have the fingerprints in there. So you'll have to take another approach. You'll have to go on an angle, and this will get you all the way up to that crease, if that makes sense. If there's fingerprints on that part where the stopper prevents you from wetting the frame up. This tool works. This S Arm works, and it works very well to eliminate having to detail the framework, but not the corner of the window by any means. I'll have to show you in order for you to know what I'm talking about if you don't know. Those who have used this may have not saw what I saw. I like to do that. I like to see what makes something work. I like to take it apart. I like to find out why it does what it does. You know what I mean? I don't just use something and say, oh, that worked out nice. I actually want to see why it worked out nice, you know? So this squeegee, when it comes to the corners, I have to change my technique up like I used to. With using Wagtail for so long, I had actually changed my technique up where I can make less moves and not have to worry about detailing. I gotta get my mask. I'm in the Popeyes. So you know you got greasy chicken hands on the doors and windows. Even though no one's sitting in there, people still chomping on stuff while they're waiting in line, and then they go and grab that door, and if it's not the customers, it's the workers. So I'll be working with this stuff more and give you tips that I've learned and stuff that you can actually avoid yourself when you get this, to save you some time, or to actually keep that in the back of your head and mindful. Okay, I remember someone saying this, you know, da 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 da, you know. But you can use this mop on virtually any job. It's just how you have to use it. You know, you don't have to say, okay, well, I can't use this mop on this job because it won't work. Yes, it will work. You can make anything work. You know, you just gotta do a little finagling. You know, you might have to do a certain technique to get it to work, or whatever the case may be for the solution that you come up with to make it work. But anything could work, man. You know, you got to get out of that mindset of saying this isn't going to work or I can't. Yes, you can. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. No way. You ready to battle? Give me your money. DJ Black Knight. Ha 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 ha. Oh, oh. Yeah, I know. Don't quit my day job. But this is Masters at Wagtail. Man, I'm loving this pole. And you know what? I've been using this pole for every single day that I'm working. And as you can see, the letters are starting to get scratched, but the paint is still holding up. The paint is still holding up. Let me just open this up so you can see. I'm sliding this pole in and out. See, the letters on this part is untouched, but I'm gonna stop throwing it in the back seat because that's what's scratching this up. But the paint is still looking like I got it. So I told y'all, from the looks of it, it looks like quality paint. And it's not gonna wear down so easily like the previous paints they may have used. I can attest to that so far, but we'll see what's popping later on down the road. As soon as it starts to wear, we'll see the time involved. Now, each person will be different because they'll be using other tools. They may not use this every day. And I use it every day, but I don't work every day. You know what I mean? And it's only short days ever since COVID. But, you know, but anyways, Macafracka, peace, peace, peace.